and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where you can always come here first to quench your reality thirst, and where we put the real and the tea in reality. I'm your girl Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I today am just drinking water because to break the fourth wall, it's very early and I don't really have time to go and drink anything else but water right now. I mean, I could have had some tea, but I didn't want to. But just water, regular water, because hydration is important. So, but if I was drinking anything out of a cup, I would be drinking it out of my cup mug. Uh-huh. You can have one. All the cool kids have one. I mean, maybe I'm the only cool kid on this panel right now, but maybe that'll change. We'll see. But you can get your cup merch at lanagscreations.etsy.com. You can get this cup, other cups, other things. We have all the merch. Get it at lanagscreations.etsy.com. And we do ship internationally, so there are no excuses.
Oh, I am the ultimate Topher, and before we pod the cast, we must first cast the pod, and all of my little Tophites are gonna come around, and we're gonna go up the mountain, and then we're gonna come back down the mountain, much like this summer sham of a show. That's Topher. I'm here. I am ready to take a dump all over this SummerSlam. It is going to be great. There were some sprinkles of excellence inside the show, so kudos will be given. But let me tell you, hashtag spoiler alert, I was not impressed.
I mean, it is what it is, and we'll talk about it. But Topher, who is this?
Oh,
somebody didn't just
never
invaded our podcast. Who are you?
My name is Donovan, your tribal chief of this here podcast. Walking in, taking over. You will acknowledge me.
Full transparency, everybody. This is my nephew, Donovan. So welcome to the podcast. First time. I've been trying to get on the podcast forever, but it finally worked out. So great. But yeah, like Topher says, we're going to talk about this SummerSlam as we called it before. Last week, we called it Bummer Slam. We knew what was going to happen. We called it what did we say? The rematch slam? Yeah, it was rematch slam because pretty much every match was a rematch from WrestleMania or of other sorts. It was something. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I did not watch this show live because I was busy, and I watched it back, and I would get like 2 matches in, and I need a break. It took me like all week to finish SummerSlam because I just kept watching 1 match or 2 matches, and like, no, thank you. Let me go do something else because I was not that impressed either. But I don't know. I wasn't feeling it SummerSlam, and which is very upsetting because I enjoy SummerSlams usually. Usually, SummerSlams are one of those shows I'm looking forward to seeing, but not this time. Thoughts? Well. That says it all, people. Like nobody is wants to talk. Okay. What?
It just wasn't. It wasn't it. Like it was. Listen, there was a lot of highlights. There was ups. There was downs. There was just a lot of bad creative decisions. I think that's where the marker ends up going. A lot of bad creative decisions right before, like that, I think hindered a lot of good matches. And there's some interesting decisions that I'm very curious to see where they go. So we'll get into it match by match. But yeah, I think that's bad creative. Bad creative.
What you think, Donovan?
Yeah, like Topher said, a lot of interesting creative decisions from watching the shows, the weekly shows, and looking at the SummerSlam. You would think, what happened? Was there a change in creative? Because a lot
Mm,
of these results, it wasn't it.
it wasn't it. It wasn't it. But so let's just jump into it. Let's get into it. Let's do this match by match. Uh we'll talk about it because baby, there's a lot to talk about. I'm gonna go full. I'm gonna go full screen so I can see better. But let's go into the first match of the night. I am back on my game. I did do things in order this time, so period. And I will say, I was almost right with the order from last week when I had no order. I was like, I don't really know what the match card is going to look like, but I was almost spot on. But the first match of the night was Logan Paul and Ricochet. Now, I said last week this was going to be one of the matches that I was probably interested in watching and seeing what was going to happen because I just knew it was going to be like a spot fest. It was going to be a lot of spots that was going to happen, a lot of things that was crazy, a lot of high flying things. What I did not expect, and I don't know why I shouldn't have expected, but what I did not expect was the lazy outcome and ending of this match because I thought it was very lazy and unnecessary. But uh, the brass knuckles, I'm like, why? Y'all were doing such a great job with the different spots, and it could have been a clean ending or something. But Logan Paul is always full of shenanigans, so I'm not surprised.
I,
But yeah.
I thought this was good. I
Mhm.
really did. I think, yeah, I mean, the brass knuckles at the end, which I somehow missed. I don't know. I don't know how I didn't see that part of it because I turned away. I was in the middle of when the match kind of ended. So I was like, oh no, I missed it. And I wasn't about to go back and watch it. So I did miss that part. But even regardless of that, I think that this was a hot way to start the show. It went
Mhm.
long. It gave me
Mhm.
a lot of hope. I love the story of acknowledging that Samantha Green is Ricochet's, wife. Are they married?
Fiance
Fiance.
Samantha Irvin.
Samantha
Irvin.
Irvin.
Mhm.
Sorry, Samantha
Not
Irvin.
Chelsea Green.
And so it was a really good like I'm gonna make your fiance have to say my name, and like the tears in her
Mhm.
eyes, I was like, oh my god, she's so good.
She's good.
So
She's
yeah,
good.
kudos to this match. I give it 2 thumbs up. I was a big fan. Ricochet absolutely pushed to the top of the card. I'm loving that they've given him a chance, and I hope that Ricochet is able to catapult himself into the next sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Topher said, solid opening match of the show. Like you said, Lana, of course, when it comes to the brass knuckles, it's WWE. You got to expect some spotty finisher somewhere. But I like the match. See the brass knuckles as a way to show that the feud's not over yet.
Hmm.
So I didn't mind it. Of course, when I'm watching, I'm like, oh, come on, man. That's how you got to win. But like you said, good match, spot fest. I like the length of the match, 2 workhorses. And I like the fact that WWE is showing that Logan Paul, yeah, he came from YouTube and all this content creator stuff, but they're putting him in these long matches and showing, hey, he's taking this seriously. He's been training and he can actually wrestle. So both of them, I can see a big push for both of them, but
Hmm.
especially Ricochet. Ricochet needs to have the world heavyweight title at some point.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at that. I agree with that. I feel like I don't think the feud is over. I wouldn't want this. I think I want this feud to last a little bit longer. Like I wouldn't mind. And I know we talked about rematch matches on this card. I wouldn't mind another rematch with them at another pay per view, maybe at Payback or another one at some point. I think Ricochet and one. Like Ricochet got to get his lick back. I think he need to get his lick back. So, but the winner, of course, was Logan Paul. Brass knuckles use Samantha Irvin had to say his name and she was not happy about doing it. I love that they are incorporating her into this thing. And at some point, Ricochet is going to have to get him and get Logan Paul in front of his girlfriend who was in the crowd and just like punish him and like, I got your girl looking at you getting beat up by me. Like, Ricochet needs his lick back. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
On a scale of TOPHER, I give this match a TOPH.
Period. I was a fan of this match. I was looking forward to it. I'm very happy with this match. Even if the outcome, I was like, yeah, come on, bruh. But it, like Donovan say, it makes it seem like this feud is not over, which I'm very happy about. We move on. I had very strong thoughts about this match last week before it happened. And again, I don't like this man on my screen.
Which one?
Ever. Brock Lesnar. I hate him. I don't like him. I'm so sick of him. I'm sick of this one-sided feud that we had no idea why it even happened in the first place, and then all of a sudden now we got to get 3 dang matches from this set. Like, why? I hate it here. It was the worst. I hate him. I hate this feud. I hate this match, and I still don't like it. And hopefully I'm praying to the gods that this feud is over, and I think it is because they did the whole respecting at the end, and he can go away.
I thought this match was so good. I really did. This was probably my favorite match on the card, to be honest with you. Like, it was so, like, there was so much heart, and I was just like rooting Cody on so much, and I just want him to finish the story. I know, like, he's wanted this so bad, and Brock Lesnar has so much respect for them. We have never seen Brock Lesnar sell for anybody the way that he sells for Cody Rhodes. So there is an abundance of respect between these two men. And for Brock Lesnar to give the nod to Cody and an alleged audible that was not like part of the show was with the real life hug, like that was a real life moment that the two of them shared. God, this was absolutely beautiful. This was a great match. Cody is now on the right trajectory. I think Cody needs a solid storyline to keep us invested in Cody and to get him to WrestleMania. And I think he needs to have a storyline that may involve somebody trying to prevent him from going to WrestleMania or something. I don't know. We need a good storyline with Cody to carry us through these next 6 months. But yeah, this was top notch. It should have been the main event, in all honesty.
Let me clarify though. I didn't hate the match because I thought the match they actually did a good match. I just don't like Brock Lesnar and this feud. Like, I'm over it. I'm so over this feud. But the way they ended it, I appreciate it. I thought the match was a good match. I felt like Cody was like giving it all, and even when the odds were against him, he was down, and Brock was pushing. And then all of a sudden, Cody just had the heart, pushed through it, tore his shorts up. He tore that man's shorts completely off his body almost. I didn't hate the match. I just don't like this feud, and I'm glad it's over though. Okay, Donovan.
I think it was, if not the best, the second best match on the card. This match, great storytelling. I don't have a lot of words, but good match. Of course, the respect at the end, and I think Brock Lesnar may be coming to the end of his time as a wrestler. I'd say maybe he does one more WrestleMania, and that's it.
I mean, I feel like I do think Brock is probably getting tired of wrestling and whatever, and I think he is. I think what he's doing is what like Undertaker did towards the end of his career. Like Undertaker let a lot of people go over, and John Cena also let a lot of people go over on him. And once you get to that point in your career where you're like, I'm about to go out, let's push some of these people, push the storyline, push them over so they can excel through the rest of of their career. And I think Brock is doing it. I think he has learned because people pushed him, and so now think now he's like, okay, pay it forward, do it back, because that's what you do. I feel like if you don't do that as a successful wrestler on your way out, what the heck were you doing? Like, why are we not doing this? Like, that's so selfish. Push the other guys so the business can continue. If this is a business that you love and passionate about. But yeah, Cody wins. I'm excited. I was happy that he won. I was happy that the feud ended. I was happy of the respect that they gave to each other. It was a good match. I will say I was more pleasantly happy with the match, but I was happy that the feud was over more. So, Topher, on the Topher scale, what did you give this?
I give this a TOPHE.
Period. Donovan, how did you rate this overall?
I'd say about a 7 out of 10.
Okay. I would give it I would give it an 8 out of 10 because it was a good match. Not gonna take away from it, even though I don't like Brock Lesnar. I did not care about this match at first. They made me care about it as it continued. So there we go. Good on you, Cody. I can't wait to see what is coming. I'm sure by WrestleMania he'll be champion. Just saying. Or at WrestleMania he'll become champion. Maybe. Yeah. At some point he'll become champion. He gonna finish the story that
the story.
He has to finish the story.
The problem with him finishing the story is that once the story's over.
Right. Then what happens after the story?
I go to bed.
I want to know what his reign is going to be like. Is it going to be I'm a fighting champion kind of reign? Or?
Massive celebration at WrestleMania. Losing all the next day.
Oh, not that.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. That would be tragic. Like, no. And unnecessary. Like, why do we build this up this much for you to lose the next day? Unless he gets hurt.
I want to see how they get to WrestleMania with him now because they dropped the ball when not letting him win last year when he won the Rumble. So I want to see how they get from now to where he's fighting Roman again. Because I don't think he's going to win the Rumble 2 years in a row.
He might.
You might. Maybe.
It's been done.
It's not unprecedented, but we'll see. Our next match was the SummerSlam Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I can say at this point. Our recap, our review, we all said it. We all knew what was going to happen. Everybody was in agreement. Nobody thought anybody else was going to win this. And nobody did. It's like
they made this match for him.
Yeah. It was made so he could win it. But my only problem is now that he won it, now what? What's the stakes?
Oh, did you see that promo battle with The Miz?
Oh, with him and The Miz, yes.
One of the best promo battles in a long time.
Chef Kiss. I mean, The Miz cuts great promos. You can't take that away from The Miz. He's cut some really great promos. And then you put LA Knight, who is also great at cutting promos, and you put them together, it's insanity. I watched that clip like 7 times because it was that good. I was like, okay. So if this is what we're going to get, a Miz LA Knight feud, I'm okay with that too. Because, I think it's not like people playing in the Miz face, which I'm like, they need to stop playing in the Miz face because the Miz is actually really good at what he does. And he will never let anybody forget. He is the first time Grand Slam champion. He never gonna let us forget that. He main evented WrestleMania twice. He will never let us forget that. But also, he has been in this business. I didn't even realize until the promo that he's been in this business for over 20 years. And I was like, wow, it has been that long. And he's been there and went through so much while he was there in the beginning of being kicked out of the locker room, not being respected, people not caring about him, and then scraping and scrapping until he got to this point. I feel like this is a good feud for LA Knight.
Yeah, the Miz feud's going to be good. As far as this match goes, I mean, could have done without it. WWE got their Slim Jim money. That was all that matters. LA Knight and Sheamus proved that they could do that spot without botching it. That's all that matters. And LA Knight walked away with the winner. It was what it was. I give this, it gets a T.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not many thoughts. I mean, it's a battle royal. Your typical battle royal, you got your big man. Everybody gang up on him and eliminate him. And
after he eliminates 6-7 people.
Exactly. And the right LA Knight won. So yeah, the Miz feud is gonna be a good feud. And after that, I can see LA Knight maybe going US title. Him facing Austin Theory. If he's
not Austin Theory anymore, because as we're taping, Austin Theory has lost his U.S. championship to Rey Mysterio.
When that happened?
That happened on SmackDown yesterday. Yep, it happened last night.
Okay, then.
Yep, that literally happened last night. So maybe Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
which makes sense. Rey is a face, LA Knight's more of a heel. I don't know. It's a weird. Doesn't make sense at all.
I mean, LA Knight is a heel, but the people LA Knight is creeping into that Stone Cold, Seth Rollins territory where it doesn't matter what he does, people are just gonna like him. He can be heel, and they're like, yeah, and then he can be face, and everybody be like, yeah. So he creeping into that territory. When the fans get behind you like that, and they don't care what you do, and he's creeping into that territory, which is interesting.
One of my new favorite TikTok trends is the putting it like intersplicing LA Knights into like music videos.
Yeah.
I've been wrong. Yeah. I've been wrong. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I can't wait to see what happens with LA Knight. I think it's going to be a good rise if they do it right. But this is still WWE, and sometimes they don't do it right. So whatever. For our audio listeners, I just put up Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey's match, and everybody's face went, This don't need, look. I don't dictate anybody's scales. Topher, I don't dictate your scales, but I don't even think you should start spelling it out for this match. Like
name associated with this match. This gets no letters.
No letters at all. Why was this match? Why was this match?
And then Ronda Rousey goes on social media afterwards and is like, well, they really should have just let us have a real MMA match instead of a worked MMA match, because then Shayna Baszler wouldn't have won. Like, what world do you live in, Ronda Rousey? Like, this is like wrestling is predetermined. It is a storyline. There are written winners and losers.
What?
Props to Shayna. Going over. We'll see what happens. Let's hope WWE does not botch Shayna's push.
They will.
Go from there.
They will.
Give us an XT Shayna.
Daughter than that.
What? This is WWE. Most of your adult audience already knows it's work. It's predetermined. You can't mix actual martial art combat, real fighting with WWE. This is the result you're gonna get. I hated this match. Worst match on the card by a mile. I hated this match.
It was so unnecessary, and not taking anything away from Shayna Baszler because she deserved to be put over. She totally deserves better, and I was like, sure, if Ronda Rousey is going to leave anyway, then Shayna needs to win, be put over, so she can go on in her career and build off of that. But I'm like,
Have a regular WWE match.
right.
If she's gonna lose by submission, you can have a regular match. Why you got to put the MMA rules and fake an MMA match?
Yeah. Or like make it a cage match. At
Make
least
a cage match.
that way a cage surrounding them makes
Exactly.
we're looking at something better. You know what I mean? So
Her getting kicked in the head and rolling out of the ring, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was just not good. It should have been in a cage, or it should have been a wrestling match, or it's just it needed a whole lot more things happening to make this match good, and they just didn't do it. I'm still congratulations to Shayna for winning, for going over, and hopefully we get, like you said, NXT Shayna back. Like Shayna, when she first came up to the main roster, I was like, oh, she is gonna be a beast. Like she is gonna be one of those people who, even if she doesn't win championships, she's going to like destroy women in this division. Like people are like, I don't want to wrestle her. I don't want to fight her because she's just killing people. She impressed me in the Elimination Chamber match, the first one that she was in, and where she was ragdolling them girls, just like bam, bam, bam. And I was like, yeah, oh, this girl is gonna be something. And then they buried her a little bit and then put her behind Ronda Rousey, and I'm like, oh, come on, man. She deserves better. So hopefully we'll get something better from Shayna Baszler. But this match wasn't it. This match was not it. This match, this was one of the matches after it was over. I was like, I need a break. I can't watch this because it was just not good.
My niece was here when I was watching it, and I was playing with her. When this match came on, I watched like maybe 2 minutes, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna play with my niece.
Let's play with the blocks. Let's play with the blocks. God, this is more interesting. Yeah, and there's no rating necessary. We'll move. We move.
rating.
Yeah.
Gunther and Drew McIntyre. Now, I said on the last one, I was excited about this match because I knew we were going to get a good wrestling match, a good brute fight. Like Gunther is the ring general for a reason, and Drew McIntyre is just so great and so fine, by the way. It's just, I knew we were going to get a good match, and they gave me a good match, and I was not mad at this match at all.
This was a sturdy match. It was everything that we had expected it to be. I don't think we ever, saw it going any other way. So I was, I was impressed. It was what it was. I would like to see Gunther now move on and really be involved in like a story. Give me a reason to feel some type of way about Gunther other than, he delivers 5-star matches. Because again, then he could just be an AEW superstar. We want story. This is why we watch World Wrestling Entertainment. So I think it was a solid match. Great effort. Great match. I have nothing negative to say about it.
Yeah, great match. I mean, you got, once again, 2 workhorses. They can just go at it, put on banger matches. You saw at WrestleMania when they added Sheamus, another banger match. Like Topher said, let's see an actual storyline involving Gunther. I get it, he's a heel, but I personally love watching his matches because
Mhm.
to him and Drew to be that big and doing the thing that they do, wrestling their styles. I like watching both of their matches. So let's see where Gunther goes from here.
Yeah, I need a story with Gunther where, like you said, we can feel some type of way. He's supposed to be a heel, but everybody looks forward to seeing him wrestle, and we're like, oh, because he's going to give us a great match. Let's see what he does. I want to see. So let's watch. But like, who? And I think this might happen now that he's closer to the record of the longest reign of IC title. Maybe we we can get a story where the person he is with is the person who comes closest to taking the title, like inches away before he either right as he gets to that point or right after he passes the point, because I think we definitely want Gunther to surpass the record. So surpasses the record, and then right after is whoever he's in the feud with is somebody who is just like inches away, like every single time beforehand, inches away from beating him, and then after he passes it, beats him. So I don't know who that person is.
But and my thing is too is that do we like how does Gunther? We all know that that timeline is coming up. That longest reign ever is like in his grasp. How does Gunther feel about this? What does Gunther think about being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time? What does Gunther think about surpassing, the honky tonk man? Like
Right.
that is what I mean that we're really missing.
Right.
Even if it's in an arrogant way of like, of course I am. Of course I'm the longest reigning because there is nobody but like something that just gives us like, make it matter. And that's all I've got to say about that. For the lack of story, and because again, you can intersplice this match in a couple of different places, it gets a TOPH. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to care. They need to make us care about this reign. And if Gunther cares, like you said, does he care? Does he like, of course I'm going to pass it. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to be the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. Or is he like, I don't care. Either way, I don't care. I just need to know something. I need somebody to make him feel like he might not pass it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody needs to come along and be like inches away from beating him, get to the point where he don't know. They're like, he's so close, yet so far away. And I don't know. We'll see. Donovan, you got any thoughts? Any more thoughts?
No, not really. I mean,
Yeah.
good match.
That was a solid match, and I didn't expect anything less when it came to Drew and Gunther. Gunther, I knew it was going to be a solid match with them. So we'll see. We'll see. This is one of my favorite matches of the night. Just really love this match, but I was so like, it was so good, but yet so frustrating and so like I was so looking forward to this match. I was so looking forward to finally Finn Balor winning this belt, finally being able to say after 7 years, I got what I deserved. And they said no. They said no. They said no. You will not. He will not. But they did it in such a way that I was like, are you freaking kidding me? You not only gonna make this man lose, but then you gonna make him look like a whiny baby as he loses, and he gonna blame everybody but himself because of the way he lost. And I'm like, why y'all doing this to Finn? Why y'all making Finn look like this? Like, it was so crazy, and I was very upset that Finn didn't win. But I love this match.
So I think this is where I'm going to give WWE Creative a little bit of due. I do believe that they are bracing for a Damian Priest face turn. I think Damian Priest is going to separate himself, and I think Damian Priest is going to take things to another level. And so I'm excited about that. With that being said, it was so sad that Finn Balor did not pull this off. I thought for sure, and I was like, it was such a good match. And sometimes when there is such a good story, like between Seth and Finn, it needed a proper finish and a proper ending. I get where we're coming from. I know what we're trying to do with Damian Priest, and I know we're the longest, I know that this is just one chapter in a longer story. But sometimes we need this to be the end of the story. This needs to be the final chapter. And because of everything that was the buildup of this is 7 years in the making, and we are here, we're finally at this point, it is going to end regardless. And it didn't. So we'll see. Maybe they're going to have one more match. Hopefully, if they do, they put them in some type of structure, Hell in a Cell, at Payback. That would be phenomenal. I think the Finn Balor and Seth Rollins would have an incredible Hell in a Cell match. And now that we don't have a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, they can actually bust it out when it is necessary. And I cannot wait to see Dirty Dom trying to figure out a way to cut his way into the cell. I can see it now. He's on top of the cell with the scissors trying to get in.
Not Dirty Dom.
Dirty Dom is and the fact that Dirty Dom was not on this card is just a robbery in general. But this was really good. This was it's not I'm only gonna give the full to one match, per card, but like this one gets TOPHE all the way. Second favorite match on the card. Beautiful.
Yeah, this was my favorite match on the card. I mean, you can tell Seth Rollins and Finn Balor have that chemistry. You could tell way back when they fought for the first time. They're just, oh my. It's not a lot I can say because I could go on for hours about this match. But to take your theory a little further, I do see Damian Priest turning face, but I also see Rhea and Dominic turning face. I feel like Finn is going to continue to put the blame on everybody else. And like you said, if they have a Hell in a Cell match and Finn loses again, I can see everybody else getting tired of being blamed for his shortcoming, and everybody else turning face on him. And then, so what that would be, paper. I can see. I don't think it's Finn's time yet. I think they're gonna wait until probably Survivor Series. And then I think that would be where you bust out the Hell in a Cell match. And then of course, you're going to have your storyline with Finn and Damian Priest because he has the briefcase. But, yeah, I love this match. The finish, to me, was a great way if they take it and run with it to end the match. They have to – WWE has to not WWE and mess it up with the Judgment Day, but a great match.
I mean, this is what I'm thinking. I agree with both of you. I think the face turns, the things might happen, but like I'll be a little upset if they break up the Judgment Day right now because I feel like this is a good faction that could actually do some things. We got Dom with the NXT title. We got Rhea with the Raw Women's Championship. I felt like they should have gave Finn this belt so Finn can have the belt, and then Damian Priest has the briefcase, which makes them have all the power. I wanted a moment where the Judgment Day was able to be like, we are that faction. We are that group that is running all parts of WWE. And I don't know if it can still happen. I don't know if they're going to let it happen. I feel like they need to let Finn get that belt. So then Damien, before they do the whole turn and Damien turns on Finn and gets the belt, and it is what it is. And I'll be like, okay, that's a reason to break up the group, is because now Finn is mad because Damien took the belt, and Rhea and Dom can be like, well, where do we fall? Where do we go from here? Like, do we go side with Damien, or do we side with Finn? Or do we just go on our own? It's like, is it gonna be Rhea and Dirty Dom, which would be funny and which would be cute, which would be interesting in itself. But like, I wanted to see the faction be that faction first before they split them apart. But we'll see if that happens. But I still love this match. This match was my favorite match of the night. So
yeah, I agree with you. Every great faction has that moment of we are them people. We
did.
So
I mean, we had the whole bloodline have all the belts.
Exactly.
And every single stinking belt. Like, they had them all. And so I wanted to have the Judgment Day get to walk around with the briefcase, the belts, and all the belts. And just be like, we are the Judgment Day, and everybody in the locker room fears us. But we'll see what happens. I think they're building up a story in their mind, and they go figure out. And I'm just gonna sit back and let it happen. I'm not gonna try to complain too much, but we'll see. We'll see. Then we have Asuka, Bianca, Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship. And I will be remiss to say, because Lewis put it in the chat, I will be remiss to say Lewis called this directly how it was going to happen. And so, Lewis, congratulations for you for calling it just how it was going to happen. Because if we didn't say that, he would come back on the next one and be like, y'all remember the little Manny from the laddie from Manny would be like, you know, when I said that Bianca was and it was like, he would have reminded us clearly. So I'm gonna do it now. So Lewis, we give you your props and your flowers. You did predict this match just the way it happened. So kudos on you, Lewis. But I thought this was a good match. Go ahead.
I think that I wish you had an opportunity to watch this live, Lana, because of the fact that I got. Everybody in the room got. We all got. I'll tell you why. Because I'm a smart fan, so I know. The ref did this, but they didn't show it. Which I was like, oh, because I'm like, if it's a work, they're going to show it. The announcers were not really acknowledging it. Like, it was all like set up in a way to be like, and let me tell you, Bianca is a phenomenal actress.
Yes.
Phenomenal. She, like, because it was like, oh, that was a real scream. And she's on the ground, like, she's like crying and in tears. And I was like, oh shit, like, that was not, like, this was not meant to happen. She's hurt. She's, whatever. And I'm like sitting there going, God. And then she gets on the top turnbuckle and does a 450 splash. And it's like, okay, I got. And because of the fact that Bianca was able to do that to me, and the fact that I literally got lost up in the moment, and I was like, the exact thing that we love about being a wrestling fan, where I'm like, yeah, I know all of that other stuff is what it is, but that wasn't supposed to happen. And that happened. So full Topher. This match is full Topher because of Bianca's performance, proving why she is the greatest. And I think now she's probably going to take a little bit of time off. And I'm glad that she, I'm glad they didn't give it to Charlotte. You know what I mean? Like, I thank God, because they didn't just add, because that would have pissed me off more of like, you literally just added an additional reign to Charlotte just for it to end in a moment. And then I am sad about Asuka not being, but like, it makes sense in the grand scheme of things. The three of them put on a hell of a performance. Honestly, this should have been the main event.
Period.
Let me tell you, this should have been the main event. Seth and Finn should have been the main event. Brock and Cody should have been the main event. There's so many options that they had for a main event that they chose not to. But this match was absolutely phenomenal. My hat's off to these three women. I hope they proved why women need to be on the card, because we had to deal with some stupidity earlier. And I'm sorry, like, I love LA Knight, but like, I would have rather had Rhea Ripley have a match, or I would have rather had, the
Trish and Becky match that was supposed to happen.
Becky Trish, so yeah, this match was phenomenal. I give it.
They just cut that match right on out. They just cut it out. It was supposed to be SummerSlam, and then they just decided, no, thank you. Yep. We'll put in a Battle Royal instead.
Yep.
Unnecessary. But I agree. I didn't watch this live, but I will say, I did not get spoiled before I watched this. So I had no idea what was going to happen. So when I watched the match, I was like, yes. Oh my God. And I was like going through all the emotions. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, Bianca's hurt. Oh my God, Bianca's hurt. Because I saw that too, Turfa. I saw that. I saw the ref do that. And I'm like, oh man, she's really hurt. And that scream was like curdling, like ear, like I was like, oh my God. Did she hit her head? Did she hit her knee? What did she hit? What happened when she fell off out that ring and hit that steel steps? What happened? And so I was like, she is hurt. She is done. Which I was like, no, because I didn't want her to be hurt, number one. And then I'm like, if she's hurt, they go turn around and give it to Charlotte, which I would be pissed about. So please, let's not that happen. I was like, if she is hurt, they better let Asuka keep it and move on and whatever. But then when she ran back and did that I was like, wait, what? And yes, I got. I got as well. I was like, this is what it is. This is it. And I was like, she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. And she did it. And I was like, yes. Oh, it was so good. Donovan, you talk about this point up until this point.
Man, I mean, I've been saying this a lot, but a great match. I mean, of course, she's the greatest.
Yes. She is the EST.
Charlotte, as much as I didn't want her to win, phenomenal wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And Asuka, I've always been an Asuka fan. Ever since she came to WWE, I've been an Asuka fan. And when Bianca hit that 450, I was like, oh, that is like you guys said. When she hit them steps, I thought she was actually hurt. I heard her hit the steps. I looked up, I was like, oh. But yeah, they got me, and they really got me after the match. They really got. I forgot all about that.
But this is the crazy thing. I was like, I'm happy for Bianca. I'm very glad that she was able to say she got it back. She won it. But then I was like, but this ain't over. I know it's not. They just not gonna let this pass because number one, Bianca is too hurt and exhausted for them to let this opportunity just go by. It just makes no sense. And when that music hit, I was like, I knew it. And I was okay with it because she deserves, like, honestly, she deserves. I was like, this is going to either give us Bianca taking a break and coming back full heel because now she is pissed because this is the second time somebody has come and took away something in less than 20 seconds. This is the second time somebody has come and taken that belt less than 26 seconds. And so she is like, now I'm pissed. So I would love to see Bianca Belair come back in a full heel position. And but she will have to wait to after Io and Bailey have this feud that they've been bubbling, and I need that to happen. I need Io and Bailey to have a feud, and back and forth, but Io, of course, comes out. I want Io to come out victorious. I don't know if they're gonna let Bailey, if they let Bailey win or not. I don't know. I just want Io to win, but I need the Bailey Io feud, and then while Bianca is stewing and getting taking her break, getting her life together, she's stewing and mad and pissed, and come back as full heel. Because Bianca as a heel was amazing. Her in NXT as a heel, she was great. And I'm like, I want to see heel Bianca back again. And I know they said, and I know this is me wishing, I know they said that they would never wrestle together. But like with this whole faction forming with the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley, you need a woman in your faction to, ward off those chicks who be coming and slapping the men when you need somebody to be like, I got your back. So every good faction got to have a woman in there so they can have somebody so they can, I'm just saying, just a thought. This faction is forming with the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. Bianca come back full heel. She put on her nice pants suit or whatever, and I'm dreaming, but it could happen. I would love to see it happen, but I do want to see Bianca be a full heel, come back at Io, and her have a good run.
Well, and this was nice too because it has been a long time since we have gotten a new world champion. You know what I mean? We've seen people change titles and stuff, but like for the most part, like this Io Sky is the first new world champion that we've gotten since WrestleMania of last year. Mm-hmm. So kudos to her. She really earned it. I think that this was set in motion when she had that match at Backlash. So, I'm glad that she got to, I'm glad that Bianca got to be the one that did the honors for her. Because I think that Io deserves it. And I'm so excited to see what Io is going to bring to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got me. I forgot all about the briefcase. I didn't even know. I couldn't even remember who won. And they got me. But yeah, I see. I hope we can get a Bianca heel turn out of this.
And kudos to Io Sky. Well deserved. I ain't even mad at it. Because I was like, I wanted her to either get it off of Bianca or get it off of Asuka. And so her and Asuka can have a feud, which I would love to see still. But that's good. But now we move on to what they did call the main event of the night, which was the Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso as the tribal combat.
Yeah.
I'm going to let y'all talk about it because.
What were the rules of the tribal combat? I thought no interference.
That's what I thought.
Used to be mano y mano.
That's what I thought a whole tribal combat was about.
Why did it take so long for them to enter? I'm so listen. I love Roman Reigns and I love my God, I had to because it was getting close. I was up in Orlando and then I was actually staying in Titusville. So when the women's match ended, I was like, all right, I'm going to get in the car, and then I had an hour drive, so I needed to put this match on for that. I took 15 to 20 minutes to gather my things, gather my belongings, and then get in the vehicle. I got in the vehicle. The bell still had not rang yet. So too long. We went well over midnight. And then why did we swerve? Yo, it's a swerve, bro. What if we had his brother, who is his twin, come in, and even though they were champions together and they beat and faced Roman Reigns together, what if He was the reason they lost. Wouldn't it be great? Like, come on, Vince Russo, sit down, put the pencil down. You're not involved. Why is this like? And then it's being said online. Matt Hardy was quoted as saying, the ending of this match was very WWE-ish. Want that? So I don't know. I'm done. I'm done with the bloodline. I'm done with this story. It's not having any new developments. I'm tired of it populating the main event. Shove it down the card. I just don't know who's getting over, and it's just starting to feel a little nepotistic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. Of course, it's a Roman Reigns match, and it's Jey Uso. It's going to be a good match. It's just this storyline been going on the whole bloodline. What?
Over 3 years now.
Almost 3 years. I didn't like the ending. Y'all just fought Roman. Why have Jimmy come beat him and cost him? And then his reasoning for why he did it was stupid. If you're gonna have Jimmy be the one to do it, I don't know.
If they would have took the jealousy angle, that would have been better. Like, I wanted to be tribal chief. Like, that would have been even better. Like, that would have been better than the reason that they came up with.
Exactly.
Like, it's so dumb to be like, and I get it. You don't want him to turn into Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns is an egotistical a-hole. Got it. Sure. You don't want that to happen. But it didn't make sense for it should have been Solo to turn on it and like turn on Roman and be like, you ain't the tribal chief without me. Like, Solo could have just snapped and beat both of them up. Like, turn on Roman, turn on Jimmy, on Jay, and be like, neither one of y'all the tribal chief. Y'all wouldn't do it without me, blah, blah, blah. And it would have made more sense. But I'm like, you say this tribal combat. And I feel like that's very disrespectful to the Samoans and what their culture of tribal combat culture to be like, we're going to do a tribal combat match. And all tribal combats, it's no interference. It's always mano a mano. It's nobody coming in to stop. Like, even we saw this on something fictional as Black Panther when it was Challenge Day. And don't nobody jump in that fight. It's challenge is between that person and that person. And that's just what it is and whoever comes out victorious from that is now the person in charge.
And they respect it.
You respect them for that. And I'm like, for them to do this was totally disrespectful to the culture. It was totally disrespectful to, they shouldn't even call it a tribal combat. Just should have had it to be a regular match. And then, it is what it is, because I feel like that was very disrespectful. I don't like the ending. I don't like the reasoning for Jimmy interfering. I don't like how Solo interfered. I don't like anybody interfering in what is supposed to be a tribal combat match. It was just, sure, they gave us good wrestling, but I'm like, but you ruined it. Like, all we see now is the ending and how stupid it is. And now we see SmackDown and Jay is like, I'm out. I'm out of the bloodline. I'm out of the WWE. I'm out of SmackDown. I'm out. I don't want to do it no more. And it's like, okay. We see a work when we see one, and we know this is just you leaving for a minute so they can prolong this storyline for a little while longer.
Yeah.
But why?
Over is dead.
It's getting, even now I'm getting annoyed because I was like, I don't mind the story lasting longer. I don't mind it. I didn't mind it. I never minded it. Now I mind it. Now I'm getting to the point where I'm over it. And it's like, we need to wrap this up, B. Like, chop it up. Somebody beat Roman. Roman, you go take a long break. Like, a long break. Like, it should have been over. And they can't keep prolonging the story. It cannot get to WrestleMania. Nobody wanted to have this all the way to WrestleMania. We can't.
That should have been the end.
And see, they should have ended at Mania this past Mania. Like this should have been over then. Like,
this is worse than the time Rikishi ran over Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Exactly.
I did it for The Rock. I did it for The Rock.
I did it for The Rock. I did it for the
Rock. Yeah, I did it for the people. Like, no. And now Jimmy telling somebody, I did it for you, Jimmy. Jay, I did it for you. Like, no, you didn't. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I wanted this match I just want this story to be over. Technically, the match itself was a good match, but then they ruined it and so we don't even care about the match anymore because how it ended. And that's very sad.
I think I saw that it was the lowest rated Meltzer match in Roman Reigns' championship run.
Yeah, people probably just was like, I'm sick of it and turn it off. Like after that amazing women's match, we don't want to see this.
Yep.
We don't want to see this.
It gets a TO.
Yeah. So
the fact that this was the actual main event after that made it work. Like this could have been in the Brock Cody spot. You could have moved these around. This didn't have to be last.
Like if they would have moved this match to where the Brock Cody match was and just moved everything back and then let the women end it would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I mean, what's better than ending with a championship changing hands twice? The belt changed hands twice in that match. That's how you end the main event. That's how you main event a match. But that was that.
That was that.
That was that. Let's do our overall rating of the entire show. What would you give it overall out of scale from 1 to 10? What do you?
Go ahead, Donovan.
6.5. I mean, it was some matches. It was some boneheaded matches, some boneheaded decisions. To be a Big Four pay-per-view, this didn't live up to its name. It's been some recent SummerSlams that were put together way better than this. The decisions were this didn't feel like a SummerSlam. This felt like a B pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, going through and recapping, I think I was a little bit harsh at the beginning. I do think there was a lot of good content on this SummerSlam, but I think it falls victim to you are only as good as your last match, and you are only as good as what you're sending people home with. Because going back, I was like, there's about 5. There was really only 2 matches on the card that I thought were like absolutely terrible, and that was the MMA fight and the tribal combat match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything else was decent and was entertaining to watch and was good. But I think because we ended this show with an hour of drudgery, I think that tainted the show, in my opinion. Yep. So if I could stop this show right at Io Sky winning the women's championship, this is definitely an 8 out of 10, maybe an 8.5 out of 10. And it had a big fight feel being in that large of a crowd. Ford Field was a good move. I liked that. But no, I think that just that ending drug it down so bad that I'm with you, Donovan. I think 6.5. 6.5 is great.
Yeah, I felt like I don't like when the Big Fours feel like Payback and I feel like Backlash was better than this. And that's not what you want from a Big Four pay-per-view. Like, you want those Big Fours to be those Big Fours because they give great, But I feel like Backlash was better than this to me. But Backlash was just really, really good. It was just really, really good. I agree with you, Topher. The ending drug it down because as we were recapping, 2 matches, it was just those 2 matches that were kind of like, everything else was good and entertaining and, worthwhile. So I'm like, all right, okay. But I might have to agree with y'all on the 6.5 with because of the ending of this pay-per-view, because it was on the trajectory of being like a 7 or 8, and then that happened and it was like stupid. stupid. Just stupid. So yeah, I'll probably agree with you on the 6.5. 6.5 on this. It was okay. It was just it was okay. It was okay. Kudos to the ladies for bringing it and giving us the main event that we needed, that we wanted, and Seth and Finn, y'all were great. Brock and Cody, I will give you your props. It was a good match. It was a good match. You can't deny. But I think that's it, y'all. I think we talked about it enough. I think we said all we needed to say. It was good. It was fun. Yeah. That was it. But thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. Please subscribe, follow, hit all the buttons, share, like, subscribe, follow the Cup TV. We are trying to match our other channel on the Cup Reality. So if you want to go over there, if you like all the Drag Race content, go over there. Check us out at the Cup Reality over on our main channel. But hit the subscribe button if you like what you like, if you like what you hear here. Tell us what you think about it. Tell us if you agree with us or you disagree with us in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. I reply back to every single comment I get. So reply. Tell us what you think about, if you agree with us. If this was a great SummerSlam and you just totally disagree with everything we said, we want to hear that too. Follow us on all of our socials, our Twitter, our Instagram, and our TikToks at The Cup Pod. And because we'll put some clips on from this show because we have some funny moments and we're funny people. And if you just want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow us. You see us all down below. I don't know how often everybody uses their Twitter, but for me, it's all about Big Brother right now. So if you follow my Twitter, it's about Big Brother. If you're not a fan of Big Brother, you can still follow me and then just mute me and then unmute me after Big Brother is over because that's what I'm going to be talking about. Get your cup merch at LanaCheeseCreations.etsy.com because you should get one. They're cute. You should get one. You can drink your tea. We'll spill all over your tea. And that's it. So thanks, Donovan, for joining us. Thank you, Topher, for joining us. And we'll be back probably in a few weeks for Payback because we're going to talk about Payback. So we'll see what Payback has to offer. And cheers, y'all. Cheers. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.